Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank officials for being here today. As you know, earlier today, the department issued a statement by Minister Fraser that a task force of IRCC officials has been established and asked to work closely with CBSA to identify the victims of fraud. That is, those students who came to study here in Canada and did exactly that. Can you expand on how this task force will conduct its work, please?
Yeah, I thank you very much for the question. I think I would say that we have designated 2 assistant deputy ministers. Michelle is one from IRCC, and from CBSA, it will be the Vice President of Intelligence and Enforcement Branch. And so the 2 ADMs will work with their teams in order to prioritize the cases, go through the cases. And I think that Michelle and I meet almost daily, so we will have a process by which myself and Minister Fraser are kept updated on a very regular basis on the progress that we're making on each case and the decisions that we're coming to, so that we can come to a conclusion as quickly as possible for the decision making and to inform those involved. And I think we've put together a bit of a process on how it's going to unfold. And I think we're both very aware, both organizations, of the importance of doing this work as quickly as possible.
Great, thank you. A follow-up on this. Do you have any time frame for this process to deal with this particular issue of the international students?
Yeah, I think we are trying to do this as quickly as we possibly can. So we're talking a matter of weeks. Obviously, we're going to work, very quickly once the IRB makes their determination. If it is a determination of inadmissibility, the department will issue a TRP, a temporary resident permit, right away. And that's an important sequence of decision because it prevents the removal and therefore allows us time to go through the case, look at it on a case-by-case basis, and then make our final decision.
Great, thank you. And today's statement went on to say that if the facts of an individual case are clear, then an international student came to Canada with a genuine intent to study and without knowledge of the use of a fraudulent documentation, a temporary resident permit will be issued to that individual. This will ensure that these well-intentioned students and graduates can remain in Canada and ensure that they are not subject to the 5 years ban from re-entering Canada that normally follows in cases of misrepresentation. While this process runs its course, preliminary temporary resident permit will be issued if they are required in order to prevent an imminent deportation. What is the department planning to do so that this situation is avoided in the future? This situation is avoided in the future.
I do think that this is something that we need to take a look at, kind of what circumstances made it such that some permits were approved while others weren't, and were refused on the basis of fraud. And so looking at the decision-making process and the tools that are in place, I think that will help inform the work going forward. I think that even prior to this, we are aware that there are often actors attempting to commit fraud within the immigration system. And so how we improve through our communications, through our processes, is something that we will learn. And I think at the end of the review of the 300 cases, I think that we will have to take a look at what did we hear from the exchanges with the students themselves in the process that we have followed to better appreciate and understand. And I think that the time that you have taken to spend with those students and that we have taken and will take is really important, because that's how we get to the source of why they made particular choices at a particular time, what type of connection they had with these bad actors, and how we can help that in helping us inform our future work with potential students around the world.
Thank you again, through Madam Chair. As a general rule, what should someone do if they suspect they have been victims of a fraudulent consultant? Is there a way for them to report this and try to get the situation rectified?
Absolutely.
Rectified, yes.
Thank you for the question. And Madam Chair, I think what I would say is that We always encourage people to report, to come forward and speak to IRCC, to speak to CBSA. I think the vulnerability of the circumstances in which someone could find themselves in if they are victims of fraud, I think the sooner they advise us, the sooner we can take action and the sooner we can also support if required. So I think I would say I would encourage people to contact us and let us know immediately.